I want to start by saying welcome back and happy new year to everyone. All the new subscribers that joined, welcome to my channel. Hopefully you're liking the content. What I want to do today, I want to talk about compost. There's 3 types that I've tried. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not good at making compost, but I found something that helps me quite a bit. Let's get into that. As I was saying, there's 3 types of composting I've done before. So the first one is your typical compost bin that I would say probably 80% of gardeners have in their garden. There's pros and cons of it. So the pro is that it's pretty small and compact. It can pretty much fit in the corner anywhere. But the very downside I found personally myself is that if you put a lot of organic matter in it, it gets stuck at the bottom. Obviously there's a hatch at the bottom to take the stuff out, but it gets stuck. And there's no way of turning it. So you can't really turn the bin over. You try to lift it, but sometimes it gets so dense at the bottom, it holds and compacts, so you can't really lift the bin up to move it. So I never really made any sort of compost in that bin. But that there made me try to find a new method. And the second method was the pile method. The pile method looks something along the lines like this. So what you do is anything, kitchen scraps, your leaves, old plants that you have, just basically pile it up and you just keep adding it, and it works perfectly. But the problem with this is you need space. You can't just, for instance, you can't just have a tiny corner and do it. It doesn't work. You need a little bit more room. And obviously, another downside is with room, if you're doing it in a box like this is a lot of wasted space that you're using just to make compost. And you could be growing other stuff in it. This method here, about 90% of the time works for me. I never really had no problems with it. Even if, like when before I used to have the foxes come in the garden and they basically rummage through it, it didn't matter because they was basically turning it for me. This is a good method, but it means just basically dedicating a space to it. I didn't want to do that, so I thought, is there any other methods I can use? And that's when I found the tumbler. So this right here is called the tumbler. So when full, this can hold 160 litres of compost. So it's really good. And it's funny because I brought this one, I think it was £45 off Amazon for this. And it's so funny, after I bought this, a couple of days later, I found another one. If you check the back of the garden, there's another one down there. I found another one, I think 2-3 rows down. So I took that one, so now I've got 2 of these. But yeah, it's really good. It's got 2 hatches here on both sides. And it's pretty easy to use. You just dump your whatever you're going to put in, your kitchen scraps, your plants, obviously your leaves from your old pots, dash it all in, and all you got to do is just spin it. It's really good. The only downside I'm saying that I have to this right now, or that I found with this, is that if you're basically a good age, or you ain't got a lot of mobility, when this is full, it's really hard to actually move. Like, you really have to put something to it. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's the easiest to spin around if it's full, but if it's like half empty, it's fine. But when full, it's really hard to move. But I've not really checked to see the quality of this compost yet. So let's do it together. Let's get some out and see how it looks. Let's grab a couple handfuls out of it. Obviously you got to bear in mind I just threw some more stuff in it not too long ago, but let's just grab a couple bits out of it and see how it's looking. One thing with these things, with most compost heaps, you need to make a sort of sieve. So you can basically sieve through the stuff, and stuff that's not broken down you can basically just put back in. That should be enough. As you see, I'm actively using it all the time, so obviously there's a lot of stuff that's not broken down, but let's sieve it out and see how well it's doing. We've got the bucket, and like I was saying, what you want to do is always have some sort of sieve. So I made this one. This is easy. This was literally pallet wood, I think 8 nails and a bit of chicken wire stapled to the bottom, and it's worked perfectly. I've had no problems with it. So we're going to get a bucket. I'm just going to dump some mix on top, your hand on top, and just sieve it out, see how it's doing. Like I said, I do actively use this compost thing all the time, so it's not going to be fully broken down. And this is actually really thin mesh, so we'll see. There's a lot of worms in my compost heaps. As you can see, it's actually doing well. There's a good couple worm castings, but it's breaking down nicely. Yeah, it's actually really nice. Decent stuff. Yeah. Oh, look, there's a little baby worm in there as well. So yeah, everything's looking lovely. So hopefully, when I'm actually going to plant out stuff, I'll be able to use all this stuff. It's looking really good. Yeah. So you can choose whatever compost method you like. There's other compost methods where people just basically put pallets next to each other and just make bays, but with bays obviously you need more space. So I'm the type of gardener, I try to just make compost basically in a small area. So these tumblers seem to be doing all right for me. First method didn't really work for me. The second method works, but you got to use up a lot more space. So only time will tell if this tumbler is basically what I need, or I have to look for a new method. We'll see. Come to the end of the video, and I know this video was a bit short. I wanted to get this video out there, but like I say in all my videos, like, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. And just to let you know, I'm starting my growing season early this year. So the next video, I'm going to start my sweet potato slips. I'm going to do things a little different. But for now, I'll catch you next video. Bye bye.